All right, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of the sirlinksalot.co live stream. I am obviously here by myself today without Mr. Nick, my partner in crime. So if you got any questions at all, I think you pretty much know the drill. Go ahead and leave any questions in the chat. And super random stream time today and a random day. Not really sure what the turnout's going to be like on this stream, but anyway, I'm here for the next hour or so, and answering any kind of SEO questions you may have. So let's go ahead and just get into it. And if it's slow, I'll take off a little bit early, but we'll see. All right, then maybe you can create a video showing how creating links doesn't require force indexing and they get indexed naturally. So I actually just made a video about this on my other channel. And there's a few ways that you can get things indexed that don't, well, okay, so actually we're here talking about creating links that don't require force indexing. So the main way to create backlinks that you don't need to force index is literally just to create quality backlinks, right? If you are creating quality backlinks, whether that's a PBN, a guest post, a link insertion, of course, digital PR, you're not ever going to have to worry about force indexing. These types of links should not require you to force index them. And if they do, there's probably something wrong, with the quality of the website, essentially the content or the website. Now, if it's a guest post, you need to give it a little bit of time because depending on the quality of the site and how powerful the site is, how many backlinks the website has, it might take a week or two for the article to get indexed. It just depends completely on the quality and the power of the website, not the quality, the power. And then, if you're doing link insertions, normally when you're doing link insertions, you should probably be looking at articles that are already indexed. So we'll go ahead and assume that the article's already indexed for link insertions. And then PBN as well. PBN might even take more time than a guest post because a lot of the time, PBN sites are not quite as powerful as guest post websites. They just don't have the same amount of authority. And if they did have the same amount of authority, people wouldn't be using them as a PBN site, right? I think a lot of the links that people try to force index end up being things that we consider like foundational link building. And so if over here on our website, go to services, that would be stuff like diversity links, pillow links. Pillow links could be anything like citations, Web 2.0, social profiles, Q&A links, blog comments, forum comments, all of this kind of stuff. Social profile citations, we of course mentioned, are in these pillow links packs. Press releases, you're not normally going to need to get indexed. Normally when you do press releases, you'll probably get between 50 and 200 indexed backlinks, depending on the service that you use. Our service has about that amount getting indexed, and you don't need to try to force index any of the other ones. There's just no point. But for all these other links that I just mentioned, these kind of foundational link types that we were talking about, these types of links, I don't try to force index them at all. And the reason is because I think there's a misunderstanding between if something is indexed and if Google knows that it's there. So for example, does Google need to index every citation for every company that does business on the internet? And the answer is no, that's insane. Because, a lot of these businesses will have 100, 200 citations, or maybe even more in some cases. And Google knows that searchers do not need to see citations. But does that mean that citation's not there and the citation that Google doesn't see it and it's not giving you, your relevance and your kind of your trust for a local company? And the answer is no. Google knows that they're there. They crawl these sites. They understand. So for any kind of foundational backlink, I don't force index them at all, ever. Whether that's if I'm working on a client site, if I'm working on my own site, never, ever, ever force index foundational link building. It's just not necessary. You're not going to get a bunch of juice from these things anyway. The whole point of foundational links is to create a diversified, very natural backlink profile. And if you're force indexing these things, you're doing something unnatural to them, essentially. And you're trying to force Google to quote like them more or something, which you just don't need to do. And you just don't get a lot of result out of these things anyway. So, Wouldn't worry about it at all. If your big links, like your link insertions, your guest posts, your PBNs, or your big stuff that you're paying good money for, are not getting indexed, that's an issue. And I would either, if you got it from a provider, ask for a refund or ask for a replacement if it doesn't get indexed in a good amount of time. Yeah, you shouldn't need to do anything to those at all. But yeah, hopefully that helps. What's going on, guys, in the chat? If you guys got any questions at all, go ahead and ask them in the comments. Um, yeah, I've got some questions here in the backlog that I'm going to answer. And if y'all got any questions at all, doesn't matter if you think it's a beginner question, advanced question, whatever. I'm here to answer it, right? That's literally what I'm here to do. So yeah, go ahead and drop them in the chat or say hello instead of just lurking, right? All right, let's see what we got next. It's always slower when Nick isn't here. It's harder because there's no one else to talk. All right. Randomish question, but I know lots of people in e-commerce. What's the deal with Google's official partners? support.google.com/Google ads feels a bit like money grab designed as, it looks like it's kind of cut off there, designed as helping, or maybe it's not cut off. Yeah, so the thing with Google ads is they they really push really hard to try to just get you to spend as much money as possible, right? I mean, that's Google's entire business model. And I think a lot of people, we say stuff like, we're always saying stuff like, remember, Google's a business. Remember, don't trust Google. They're not here to be your friend. They're literally here to make money. But you see so many people, and I know, a lot of these people maybe haven't been in SEO a long time because there's constantly new people coming into like the online space or whatever. So people have to keep repeating themselves. But just remember, Google's a business. They're here to make as much money as possible. They're a profit-driven company, and especially in these later years, in the past 5 years or so, maybe even more than that, they've really been trying to squeeze more and more out of without essentially like adding more to their like product. They're just trying to squeeze more out of ads. And once you get on Google Ads, you'll start getting these emails with them just really pressuring you to meet up on these calls with their sales reps and stuff. And we've actually, I've done some of these calls with them before, and it's it's sketchy. Like it doesn't feel like you're dealing with this huge trusted entity, Google.com. It feels like you're dealing with almost like a used car salesman, right? They're just really trying to get as much money out of you as possible. They'll say anything to get you to up your ad spend. The solution to every problem is spend more money on ads. Yeah, I feel like it's important to keep this in mind as SEOs, especially because Google actually does not want you to succeed with SEO. They actually want you to fail with SEO, and they want you to spend money on Google Ads. They don't make any money by you ranking high on Google. They don't have any kind of love for you at all for you providing good content and following their rules. They feel nothing for you. They literally want you to fail. They don't want to give you good advice because they can't have everyone gaming their algorithm. But also, yeah, they just want to make more money on ads, right? If you can't succeed in SEO, you have to get traffic another way, which will end up being either you not using Google at all and you doing social media or video or something, or you're over on paying ads on Google or wherever else as well. But yeah, it's definitely designed as helping, but just remember, not necessarily helping. Also, yeah, we got 10% off PBN links this month. If you go to sirlinksalot.co, check out our PBN links over here. Where are we? PBN links. Yeah, code PB13 when you're checking out. We've got like homepage rentals. These are 1-year rentals right here. These are 6-month rentals. And then we've got PBN guest posts, it's not a homepage link. It's just like a guest post, but on a PBN website. And then we've got PBN link insertions or niche edits as well. Same thing. Of course, we do other kind of higher quality links as well, guest posts, link insertion, digital PR. But those are not on sale this month. This month we've got 10% off PBN links, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but hey, what's going on? Jaden, what's going on, man? Let's see what Chris is saying. Chris says, I fudged up and made a good blog post and Google ranked me for an unrelated keyword. I'm okay with it, but my main keywords took a hit, slowly recovering. I'm almost removing the post for now. I'm a little confused with your question, really. Okay, so you made a good blog post, but you ranked for an unrelated keyword. Okay. Um, your main Are you talking about your main keywords on that page or your main keywords on your other pages? Because if you posted an article and then your main keywords from other pages were taking a hit, that's pretty strange. But maybe um, you made your blog post and you're kind of ranking for one keyword and you were trying to rank for these other keywords on that same blog post, and those took a hit for that specific page and not on other pages. Um, so yeah, if it was keywords on that page on that same blog post taking a hit, my main keywords for my site all took like a 30%. That's crazy, man. Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with the blog post that you made. It doesn't work like that. Like you don't there's never going to be a situation where you're going to post a new blog post on your website and then everything else takes a hit, like you're getting a penalty or something. It doesn't work like that. Google, yeah, it might have happened as soon as the blog post ranked, but it doesn't, I would highly, highly, highly suggest looking for the problem elsewhere, man. I would say with like 99.9% certainty, the problem is somewhere else. Unless you did, I mean, you would have to do something really weird. Like, I don't think it's possible. I just don't think it's possible. The only thing could think of is like you posted this blog post and then like you did a bunch of weird internal linking and were like spamming all of your other pages with like unrelated anchor text in your internal linking from that new blog post. But so on Sir Links a lot, it literally doesn't matter what I post on Sir Links a lot. If I post an article about, best, I'm gonna be a little crude, but like, best place to buy Viagra in the US or something, and or like just something super scammy, payday loans stuff. It doesn't matter what I post on the Sir Links a lot website, it will not affect the other things. It does not work like that. It Google takes, Google's much slower to react than that, and you don't get a penalty for posting one piece of content like that. Unless, I would say the one unless would be like, and this is a huge if, but the huge if would be like if your entire website overall was getting like low quality signals, and then this one blog post pushed you over the threshold, and then Google's like hits you with like a helpful content classifier or something like that. Like maybe you had a bunch of other unrelated blog posts as well, and then all those other unrelated blog posts in conjunction with this one pushed you over the top a little bit. But really, like if it's a good blog post and it makes sense for your website to be publishing it, and even if it's pure AI spam and the rest of the content on your website is good and not AI spam, like one post isn't going to affect things like that. So I'd really, really, really look for the um, problem elsewhere. It says my website is overall very low authority, and I think this one blog post got shared, which pumped that key term. Um, I mean, I guess I would be so surprised, man. I would be so surprised if this blog post was the issue. You could try taking it down, but I'm just telling you right now, I think there's got to be something else going on. So you could spend more time trying to focus on this blog post being your issue, but usually when stuff like this happens, there's a lot more going on than one thing. We see this. I can't really explain. I've seen this so many times. I've been doing SEO like 10 years or whatever. People have this idea that the last thing that they did is the thing that causes the problems. So, for example, we're a link building agency, and actually we don't get many complaints about, I bought a link and my rankings went down, but every now and then we do. And then we go and we look at the site and we say, holy crap, man, like you have so many huge major problems going on. Like I'm surprised your rankings didn't go down before, but they think because they bought one good link from us, even though they can't tell us what the problem is with the link, they think the link caused their rankings to go down. And it doesn't work like that. But yeah, everyone thinks this, especially when they're getting started. They think the last thing that they did is what caused the problem. But you got to understand, Google is really looking at many things at the same time, and they're also very slow moving, meaning that in many cases, no matter what you're doing, you're not really going to see the results from those things very quickly. There's some cases where that happens, but in most cases, things move slow, and it's an aggregate of all of things that you're doing rather than one individual change. Unless it's like a massive individual change, like you're changing, I don't know, like the URLs on all your pages or the titles on all your pages, something crazy like that. But um, overall, yeah, I would really, really highly advise looking for the problem elsewhere. Um, I would add the one thing, because you said your website is really low authority, like maybe if you really didn't have much content on your website at all, and you were like just starting to kind of rank for stuff, and then you posted something completely unrelated to your website, and you got a bunch of traffic from like other places other than just Google. So like maybe your whole website's about cars, and then you posted an article about dogs, then your website's getting all this traffic related to like people from like dog stuff, and your website's very young and fresh. Maybe that could confuse Google since like the very beginning, but still, I would really look for your problem elsewhere, man. Hopefully that helps. Like I mentioned before, ladies and gentlemen, 10% off PBN links this month with code PBN13 over here at sterlingsalot.co. Just go over here, our services, PBN links, and boom, there you have it. All right, let's see what we got next. What do you think about the first link priority theory? I wonder how navigational links would affect this, since in many cases, websites have site-wide nav links directly to the money page. Yeah, so navigational links, I'm actually not like I'll be straight up honest with you. I'm not a super expert on, I kind of consider this like technical SEO stuff. However, I feel like I do have a pretty good idea of how this stuff works. And for first of all, for navigational links, these are links. Bots can use your navigational links to crawl around and to get to other pages on your website. And a good navigation is really a good thing to have. However, your navigational links, Google knows what a navigation is. They know what menus are. And it's also like in the code on the website. And the fact that it's present on every page on the website as well, Google understands that it's your navigation and it's not your article, and it treats these kind of links differently. On top of the fact that navigational links don't have any context surrounding them. A link like in your article on your blog post, so if we went over to, just go over to this toxic backlinks article over here on links a lot. So up in our navigation, these links have no context. It's literally just a single word, right? It's just a single word. Whereas if you're getting an internal link from these like paragraphs down here, you're actually, they have all of this information to around this link to help understand, what it's about. It gives it more relevance. It just helps Google understand better like what your site's about and what the page being linked to is about. Now, according to your question, so navigational links, I would not consider these at all about being like first link on the page. I would consider these as completely separate. Google doesn't see those as first links on the page. Now, if you're scrolling down and then you say like, okay, here's our first, in content link on the page, is this given priority? Maybe it would kind of make sense in a way, right? Because, because if a bot is crawling the page, they're literally just like sifting through code on page, going from top to bottom, then it would make sense for them to get more crawl action by visiting that first link, if you know what I mean. And I guess the same thing could be said for if it was like a guest post or whatever, like maybe you want your backlink to be like the first link in the article. However, I haven't done a lot of testing with this, and I'm not really 100% sure if that's the way it works. If I had to guess, I would say that it probably doesn't matter that much. I wouldn't put too much emphasis on this at all. Um, you know, let's just say like you're doing like digital PR or whatever, and you're getting all these like quality links from CNN and wherever else. Like, are you really going to stress that you're getting your link is like the second on the page because they've linked to like Wikipedia above you or something? The answer is hell no. Like, that link is amazing. It's not diluted in any way by one other link being ahead of you. The only thing I would really worry about, I don't look at this at all, and I never worry about it at all when it's concerning backlinks, and it's not something I factor in when I'm doing my internal linking as well. But the only way I would really be worried about this is if the page had like a ton of links on it. Like, let's say you got a link from a page or whatever, and it's got like 50 links above yours or something. And but then it's not even that your link is not first. It's because the link or the page has a ton of other backlinks, so it's kind of like diluted in a way. It's just too much links coming from that page, so it's not seen as valuable, right? Um, but yeah, it's not really something I'd worry about too much, to be completely honest. And yeah, maybe not the perfect answer. Maybe someone else has done more testing on this. I feel like Kyle Roof would be a good guy to ask about this question for whatever reason. But yeah, I'm not a super expert on it, so hopefully that helps. Recently came across a funny duplicate content example. I'd like your take on it. Look up is uncured bacon ultra processed and check out the Washington Post and Consumer Reports article. Is uncured bacon ultra processed? Is uncured bacon ultra processed? Sorry, I'm just typing this up. Okay, here's the Washington Post article. Let's get it on the screen for you guys. Start reading. I do not want to subscribe to that, so unfortunately, I'm not going to check it right now. Sorry, man. But yeah, if you can tell me a little bit about what's going on. It says both of them ranking with the exact same word for article is insane to me. Oh, there's two articles, so I can just look at the SERP. Sorry, okay. Is uncured bacon ultra processed? I didn't even spell it right because that's what a joke I am. Sorry, and we're looking up Washington Post and Consumer Reports. Both of them ranking for the exact same word-for-word article. Washington Post, Consumer Reports. I wonder why. What is it? Is it like a guest post or something? Is it written by someone else? It's a freelance writer. Yeah, that is pretty crazy if it's the same exact author. Anyway, I don't really have much of an insight on that other than, duplicate content is an issue. However, there's a lot of cases where duplicate content is not necessarily an issue. There's tons of these I'm not saying Washington Post is a scraper site or that Consumer Reports is a scraping site. Those are obviously both very high authority websites and very trusted sites. My only idea here is that it was a a guest post, and the author for whatever reason decided to post it on both, which is kind of sketchy. Normally if you're doing like a high quality guest post, like if you're you're a writer and you write on multiple platforms, normally they are not cross posting on multiple platforms like this. So I would expect it to end up getting taken down on one of them, unless one of them is even an aggregator. But that would be pretty sketchy if they were doing that and just like ripping content from somewhere else, or maybe they have like a syndication network or syndication system, or maybe Washington Post and Consumer Reports is owned by the same thing. Anyway, I don't really know. But yeah, you've probably seen a bunch of like scraper sites out there and stuff. And a lot of the times the duplicate content will still end up ranking. God, what was the one I was looking up yesterday? Let me see. Links. I just saw something recently. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find it right now. Here, let me go over. I'm going to go over to my toxic backlinks article, and I'm going to search for this in quotes. Anyway, I was doing this the other day, and I just found this. It was called like formationpbn.com or something, and they were basically scraping every article that goes on to our website over at Sir Links-A-Lot and like posting it on their blog. It's just one of those automated scraper things that's real annoying. And it's indexed and it's ranking for some keywords, not very well, but it doesn't. You have to understand that Google's not perfect. I'm not a Google apologist or whatever, but they do have a very difficult job, and it's all handled by computers, right? An algorithm. So stuff like this definitely can sneak through, and it's just a matter of how long it's going to be up there for. Because I would think, especially for that keyword that we looked at, those two big publications, I would think that eventually one of those will get deranked. Which one will get deranked? I'm not really sure how that's going to get treated, but it is definitely interesting. It's cool. Thanks for sharing that. Would love to hear your take on large scale local directories. Good show. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure what do you mean about large scale local directories, Ricky? Like what exactly did you want to know about them? You know, if you're talking about like if you're doing local SEO, like should you get on big local directories? Yeah, sure. It just depends. A lot of these directories, depending on what they are, might have a little bit of a price tag. But generally, there are usually some like good directories that might be worth, paying the $20 or $40 or $100, whatever it is to join on. Like maybe it's a directory for plumbers, and maybe they have plumber literally only plumbers in their directory for like every city in the US. This can be a great little link for you. It's not really the same thing as like a guest post or a link insertion or something, but it's a great foundational link. And it's highly natural, and it's something that a business owner would actually want to do. And I think Google understands this as well. So, if it's from a perspective of should I get these links for doing local SEO, then yeah, absolutely. But yeah, just kind of factor in price, and go and look at some of your competitors as well. Like, are your competitors grabbing these links up? Are some of the top plumbers in other big cities getting links from these same directories? If so, there might be a little something there, right? Um, yeah, hopefully that answered your question. If you're still here, Ricky, let me know if you got anything else that you want to answer. But yeah, directories are good. I mean, they're pretty much like citations, right? It's just hyper natural, foundational backlink. Um, but the thing is, for local SEO, you don't usually need, or in a lot of cases, you don't really need like a ton of uh, more expensive link building, like stuff like digital PR or even guest posts and link insertions. And if you do get some guest posts and link insertions, you're not really doing it at the same level as like someone who's running like a national or international SEO campaign, right? And targeting these higher search volumes all over the country or all over the world, even. You just don't need that kind of link juice or power. I mean, you still probably want a little bit, but maybe just a handful, right? Or just going very slowly with it. And then a lot of the time, just by doing these local directories and then your other stuff like your citations, maybe a press release every now and then, you can rank a lot of stuff like quite easily. Yeah, hopefully that helps. It looks like you're not really asking a follow up, so yeah, hopefully that helps, man. How can I rank for a specific city and service if the keywords related to my service and locations don't have search volume? Yeah, so you don't need something doesn't need search volume to be able to rank for it. If it doesn't have any search volume, um, you know, I don't know, maybe you're in like a very small town, because usually for any kind of like city or any kind of even like medium sized town, then there will be a little search volume there, right? So first of all, I would say make sure you're doing your keyword research properly, just to make sure that there actually is no search volume. But yeah, just because something doesn't have search volume doesn't mean that you can't rank for it. So if you're so let's say go to a bigger city and search for your same keyword. Like let's do New York or LA. And if there's still no search volume in there, then maybe you're kind of trying to rank for the wrong keyword, right? But generally, there will have search volume in these very large cities. Then you can be sure you can just use that same format. So service plus location wherever you're at, and then yeah, from there, if that's just uh, that, just because it doesn't have search volume doesn't mean that people are not searching for it. These numbers are an estimate; they're not always right. In my experience, I've ranked for many zero search volume keywords, and they ended up getting clicks and traffic from Google. So there is search volume there, and you can search around in Facebook groups, or even if you just Google zero search volume keywords, you'll see a million articles, people writing about how writing content for zero search volume keywords is actually a good tactic to do because they're easy to rank for, and it's usually never zero search volume. You just have to make sure that you're not trying to like build an article or a page around some kind of content that's actually like Google is assigning this keyword to another like cluster of keywords. So just make sure that um, you know this page and this keyword can rank on its own for that keyword rather than Google thinking it's part of something else, right? Because if it's part of something else, then you might not want to have like an individual page for that keyword, and rather whatever the kind of like parent keyword or whatever you want to call it is. Um, but yeah, as far as how to rank for it, you would rank for it just the way you would do anything else. You just make a page on your website about it. Do your on-page SEO. Make sure you're writing content um, and covering the topic fully. Use a tool like Surfer or Neuron Writer or whatever to help you optimize the page. Make sure you're matching search intent correctly. Just the same way as you'd rank for anything else, but I would expect it to be much, much, much easier than ranking for something with search volume, because anything with search volume is usually going to have more competitors because people are doing keyword research based on the tools. They see the search volume, they want to go for that keyword. For the zero search volume stuff, not many people are targeting it because they don't maybe either they don't know about it or they don't think that it's worth any money to rank for that. And so generally competition is much lower. So your job would be a lot easier. Hopefully that helps, man. Okay. I'll take a quick drink real quick, guys. Any of y'all smoke? I'm gonna hit my vape right now as well. I started vaping. I quit smoking for like 7 or 8 years, and I started vaping again recently. Um, Actually, it was because of SEO conferences, because I was going out late with a bunch of guys at the SEO conferences in Chiang Mai and Vietnam and whatnot, and ended up picking another bad habit. So thanks a lot, SEO, for ruining my life, right? Black Hole says vape up, bro. Are you vaping right now, Black Hole? All right, let's see. Oh yeah, like always, like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, 10% off PBN links this month. Code PBN13. All right, where are we? Sorry, I got kind of lost here. Yes, that's what happened. How to rank? Okay, here we go. Christopher asks, what's the difference between the power and authority of a link? So generally, sometimes people use these kind of terms interchangeably. So it kind of depends on who you're asking or what the context is. Uh, Perfect SEO answer, right? It depends. But generally, the way I think about it, and I think the way most people think about it that have been link building for a while, is that the authority is the power of your entire website. And then the power is the strength of that individual page on the website. Let me go ahead and open up Ahrefs real quick, and I will we'll have a look around together just so I can kind of show you what's up a little easier. 1 second, please. All right, so here we have Sir Links a Lot. This is our website, of course. You can see we have a DR of 60. Got about 1,000 referring domains or whatever. So yeah, when we're talking about the authority of the website, we're talking about DR. So this is the strength of our entire website. Every backlink that's going to our website is factored into the DR. And the thing about authority is that authority actually affects every single page on your website. So, if you go to our, top pages or whatever, and we're looking at some of these pages, I know for a fact that a lot of these pages that we're ranking for stuff on, that we're getting good traffic from, have 0 backlinks built to them. And yeah, so you don't necessarily need higher power. You don't need a bunch of backlinks going to that specific page if your website has a very high authority. And this is one of the reasons why you want to build your whole site's authority, and don't worry about just spamming a single page that you're trying to rank, right? But that's not saying you shouldn't also build backlinks to your individual pages, because that can matter as well. So, if we just typed in something like toxic backlinks, the keyword toxic backlinks here, let me get this on the other screen for you. So yeah, here we're searching for toxic backlinks, and you can see scrolling down here, we got like DR91, so very high authority, right? DR91, again, very high authority. Reddit, we don't count that one. DR84, DR96, DR91. Of course, these are all very high authority websites, but then over here on the right-hand side, you can see the amount of referring domains they have, or the UR. The UR is the authority of that single page. And this is what we call power, just like page authority instead of domain authority. Those are Moz words, by the way. So anyway, if you came to a SERP like this, and let's say you had a DR91 as well, a DR91 site, but your UR, your UR of your page was 0 because you had 0 backlinks going to that page, but all of the other pages, had your similar authority, but much higher power, then you would probably want to build some backlinks to that page. And it's probably going to have trouble ranking for a similar authority website. That being said, what you'll see a lot of the times is a high authority website like this, DR91, they'll come in with 0 backlinks to a page and they can get #1 ranking for the keyword, even if you have a lower site authority page, like let's say this one down here, DR45. Let's say this one had more, like a higher UR, which they don't as well, but let's just say that they did. Then a lot of the times the high DR site will beat this one, even though this specific page on toxic backlinks has more authority. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, and it matters, for some other stuff as well. So for example, one of the reasons people like link insertions is because, if you get a backlink from a page that has a lot of power, it has a lot of backlinks going to that specific page, and then you get a backlink from that page, there's more like link juice going to that specific page. So that could be good. But it's also just good to get links from high authority sites as well. So anyway, it's a little bit different, and you really have to kind of like look at these things together. But in general, I focus much, much, much more on the overall authority of a website rather than blasting specific pages. I don't like to like hammer pages with a ton of links, because you can get yourself in a situation where you do something unnatural, and Google kind of could suspect like unnatural link building kind of stuff if you build way more links to a page than any of your competitors have, and it doesn't look natural at all, right? So yeah, anyway, kind of rambling at this point. Hopefully that helps. G, hey, you are welcome. King Carol says for news duplicate content, it's more often allowed since it's frequent to post press releases or the same news. Yeah, that didn't necessarily look like, it definitely wasn't a press release. Of course, press releases are all duplicate content. You get like hundreds of pages indexed at the same time, and it's all duplicate content, right? And they still get indexed, all of them, or a lot of them at least. That's another good example for duplicate content. Let's see here. I'm doing my own link outreach. I've realized just how many blogs have spam backlinks, right for us pages, or tank traffic. Most blogs are businesses. Best way to find legit blogs. Yeah, the best way to find legit blogs is to keep looking. Is to keep looking. Look for blogs that actually are ranking for keywords in your niche. They don't even have to be ranking like very high, but just start doing some like keyword research in your niche. And you could even search for like kind of lower competition stuff, kind of more like long tail stuff, lower search volume, whatever. And just look for blogs that are actually ranking for stuff in your niche. Like you said, especially now, a lot of these like really low quality blogs that were pretty much link farms, a lot of them got hit over the past year or so. Yeah, and you'll see a lot of them like losing their traffic and stuff. A lot of them, I think, got hit with probably kind of like helpful content classifiers, just because they're kind of posting real low quality spam content kind of idea. But as far as spam backlinks, you should understand though that most websites have spam backlinks. Like even Sir Links a Lot, our website has a ton of spam backlinks. A lot of, and we didn't build them. It's just stuff that people get hit with naturally over time. And I feel like the higher up, the more stuff that you start ranking for, the more spam backlinks you're going to accumulate. So yeah, don't necessarily, and of course, competitors as well might spam your site and do some unsavory things, which I've had done many times to me as well. It's not something I ever do to other people because I'm just not going to waste my time and money doing that kind of crap. But I think the best thing is if you go into like Ahrefs and you start looking at through like what Ahrefs thinks the best backlinks are, you can get a pretty good idea if they have like a pretty like solid backlink profile or not, or if like the whole thing is just like spam crap kind of links, right? So you can do a little bit of analysis there. But one of the main things that I like to look at is just what kind of keywords the website is ranking for. If it's ranking for anything in my niche, then Google sees that as an authority in the space. It doesn't have to be exact either. It can be for whatever, like, so if it's a business, so like, let's say I wanted to build a link to my SEO website, but I was getting a link from a business blog. Well, the business blog is ranking about business terms, right? They're not really probably going to rank about SEO terms very much, but the fact that it's a business site ranking about business terms, that's a pretty good sign right there. And you could still get a link from them. And business is a shoulder niche to SEO. It can 100% make sense to get links from a business blog, right? But yeah, it's just going to take a little bit more work. Realize that most of the people, a lot of people that are going to say yes to backlinks very quickly are going to be websites that's the only way that they make money, right? Especially if they have tanked traffic, they are just really trying to squeeze as much out of it as possible before they are not able to make any more money with the website. Right for us pages, yeah, definitely. I factor those out. There are some cases though, if it's actually like a really good website, some really good websites actually have right for us pages. So for example, Empire Flippers is they're a very well known entity in the SEO space. They're brokers that help you buy and sell websites or online businesses, and these guys have a right for us page. So let's see, let's go down here. Um, I don't know where it is. Say right for us. There we go. So here's Empire Flippers right for us page. Does this mean that I don't want a link from Empire Flippers? No, because I actually made a video about this on my other channel, but for the most part, if a blog has a right for us page, it actually is crap, and it's just a guest post farm like 99% of the time. But there are some cases where very high quality publications will have right for us pages. And the thing is they don't let anyone just post content. They're highly selective with who writes for them. And they usually want someone who's also like an authority in the space and, brings credibility to their brand. So, very good websites can also have these pages as well. So you don't necessarily 100% count them out. But I would say for like 99% of your link building, these are not the types of websites we're talking about, right? We know exactly what we're talking about. We're talking about straight up low quality guest post farms just trying to make more money with the right for us page. Let's see, best way to find legit blogs. But yeah, I guess that's about it. Just look for websites that are actually ranking for stuff and just go from there. It is a numbers game, right? It's going to take a lot of time, a lot of like sifting through a bunch of bad stuff, especially recently. But yep, there's still definitely plenty of opportunities out there because yeah, we're not having any problem over at our link building agency fulfilling orders for link insertions and guest posts and all that good stuff. And I know a bunch of other good providers are not having any trouble as well. I know some are having trouble because a lot of their inventory was just low quality, kind of like crap. But yeah, there's still a bunch of opportunity out there. Just keep going at it and try to find some the websites. For every website that went down, that means there's a website that went up, right? So someone's got to take the place of all these websites that were getting hit. Let's see. Is there a benefit to adding the address in the footer for a new e-commerce website? And is it a problem if it's slightly different than the one in the schema and contact page without US at the end? Why don't you just make it exactly the same? So, it's good to have like uniform, like to make it uniform everywhere if possible. But if you're just putting like US, like United States, that's generally not even like part of the address when you are when we're in the United States, I never write the United States on my address. Um, so yeah, I don't think it really matters that much. The main thing is just make sure like the name, the street number, the city, the state, the zip code, make sure that's all the same. If you want to add United States at the end, that's fine, I guess. Or you could just remove it. Or you could do something like you could just say like our location, like have United States colon and then put your address under it. So the United States isn't like part of the address, if that makes sense. Um, but yeah, I don't think you'd have really too much of a problem with this. Google's not too dumb. I think they could pretty much figure it out. Um, but yeah, I would say it's always a good idea to, if you're a legit business, to add your address in the footer. It's just a nice quality, like trust signal, right? Kind of like a little like eat factor, maybe not like a very big one, but it's actually showing like, we're here's our address. We stand behind our business. You can search this address other places and you'll find us listed there as well. So yeah, I think it would definitely be a good idea to put it there and just try to have it as uniform as possible. And yeah, maybe take out that US official, no reason to be there. Black Hole says, let's go. Let's go. Ricky says, thanks for the answer. I appreciate it. I was a bit unclear, but I'm building some directories myself and I'm wondering how you would go about it. Oh, like you're building like your own directory? I don't have any experience building a directory at all, so I'm probably not a good person to ask about it. Ricky says, no vaping, but snus. So snus is actually how I got back on vaping because I started with snus first. And I would only do it when I was going to like, meet up with some SEO people or like, go out for like drinks or something. And so I was only doing it like maybe like once a week. And then when the conferences started happening and it just snowballed until I was using other people's vapes, then I had my own vape. Horrible. My main competitor's website is 3 years old and they have an average of 800 backlinks. If I start blogging now, do you think it will take a long time to outrank them? So let's come back over to Ahrefs real quick. So you can see over here for our website for Link Slot, we have 3.5K backlinks, and then we have 1,000 or 968 referring domains, right? So this is actually the number that you want to look at. Referring domains is the much more important number. This number of backlinks doesn't matter as much because one website, one domain could link to you 1,000 times, right? So you could get 1,000 backlinks from one website, and Google doesn't treat that the same way as they treat 1,000 backlinks from 1,000 different websites, right? It's like like one website is essentially like one vote for you. It's not saying that more backlinks from one website can't help you, especially if it's a really good website. Like I'll take every link from the Washington Post that they want to give me, right? However, it doesn't. I don't think they count them quite as much after you start getting multiple links from the same website, and I think that's pretty like well held like SEO knowledge, right? So yeah, first of all, make sure you're looking at this number right here. Then the next thing I would do is come over and click backlinks over here. And then what you want to do is we're going to apply a very low filter. So we're going to say a DR minimum of 10, which is still a low DR. And we'll say domain traffic more than 250, which also is a very low amount of traffic. And then we'll say do follow backlinks like this. So what we're going to be getting now is, see, we're starting with basically 1,000 links, and this is going to cut it down by a lot. So now you can see we've only got about 100 links that are passing this quality filter, and I'd say about 10%. Like when you do this to any website, I feel like 10% of whatever the original number was. Like so, we started at 1,000, now we're down to 110. This is pretty normal. And so what that'll show you is a much more realistic number of the number of quality links that you're going to need to build to catch up to them. So, in the beginning, if someone said, oh, we want to catch their links a lot, but, they got 1,000 referring domains, it's going to take us forever. We don't have the budget to build 1,000 quality links. Of course, it's a lot easier to build 100, right? And then you could take 100, you could divide it by 12 or whatever. That's less than 10 links a month. So, you're just gonna have to factor in, how high quality their links are, because it's never always just like exact, right? It's never just like, oh, if I build the exact number of links that they have, am I gonna catch them or beat them? It doesn't work like that. But by doing what I did, by filtering it down, making sure you're getting that lower number of quality links, that'll give you a much more realistic estimate. But you could really go into there even further and analyze things even more. And you probably even remove a lot of that to get an even lower number. And yeah, and start building quality links to try to catch them. You're not gonna make sure you're also not trying to catch them with low quality backlinks. So if they have 100 quality links and you're trying to catch them with 100 PBNs for $5 on Fiverr or whatever, uh, good luck. It's not going to work. It's not going to work out for you. So a little bit of analysis is required if you're really trying to gauge like what kind of budget you want to expect from the backlink perspective. Um, which I guess kind of leads to another point, is that backlinks are not the only part of SEO. There's a bunch of other factors at play. You've got your on-page SEO, your technical SEO, your content, your topical authority, other off-site signals, like if you're getting traffic from things like YouTube or social media, off-page brand dimensions. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff going on, but essentially your content, your topical authority, and your backlinks are kind of like the big ones, right? But all the other kind of stuff kind of factors in as well, at least to an extent. Um, yeah, hopefully that helps. Just kind of filter that number down, then kind of divide it out. And if you don't know how to build links, find a provider. You could check us out over at slingsalot.co or go check out some other trusted providers out there, and then figure out like what kind of budget you think you're going to need per link. If you need a bunch of like DR51 plus links or DR 40 or 30 plus links or whatever, and just figure out the budget is for whatever number you're trying to catch up to. It's so if I wanted to catch up to 100 backlinks, essentially I could build 100 backlinks in 1 month if I had the budget, right? So you could catch them quite quickly if you really needed to. But anyway, yeah, hopefully that helps, man. Ricky says 100%. I'm doing consulting for one and realized the niche is up for grabs. What niche is that? Vaping or snus? That's crazy. I wouldn't expect that to be up for grabs because it's pretty. I mean, I feel like it's pretty like mainstream, right? But anyway, Black Hole says, "Keep it quiet, brother." Yeah, maybe we shouldn't talk about it on the live stream, right? um. Do you have any strategies to get my website out of the sandbox quickly? Yeah, here's a couple. Build a bunch of really good, strong backlinks. It's going to take a bunch of money, of course. Start posting a lot of high quality content. I would say one thing I would be careful with though is your content velocity, because I think there's some kind of triggers or flags out there. Like if you start posting a bunch of content really quickly, I think you could get flagged for like possible like AI spam or whatever. And then they probably like crank up their algo to really scrutinize your site a little bit more heavily, or maybe even send in like a quality rater or something. And that's something you definitely do not want. You definitely don't want like Google's spotlight shining on you, right? Like the Eye of Mordor in Lord of the Rings. I've been watching the new Rings of Power series that does not have the Eye of Mordor in it, but it has what's that guy's name? Mordor. What's the bad guy's name in Lord of the Rings? Like the number one bad guy. Anyway, off topic, but yeah. So okay, building quality backlinks will definitely help you get out of the sandbox, because what backlinks do is it gets more bots crawling to your website. But just imagine Google's bot is on this other website. They're crawling it. They see a backlink on your website. The bot follows that link. Now the bot is on your website and it's crawling your website. So high quality links. You could try to drive traffic from stuff like social media or YouTube. A lot of people, they'll just get on social media and they'll like post their blog article. It's going to get 0 likes, 0 clicks, 0 anything. And they think that they're doing something useful. And no, you're not really doing anything useful. Might be a little bit useful though, especially because, stuff on like X and LinkedIn can actually get indexed. So I'm not saying it's completely without benefit, but it's a lot better if you're actually like active on social media and you're actually trying to drive like clicks and traffic in a quality way and getting interaction on your posts and stuff. You could use other free parasites like medium.com to do the same thing, to build some links. Medium, Reddit, LinkedIn Pulse, of course, but we'll just include that as part of social media. Yeah, we covered adding a bunch of content to your website. Um, you could consider doing a 301 redirect with a domain, but this is more advanced. And I'm guessing you're probably not going to want to do that. But yeah, you have to, buy a quality domain and 301 redirect it over, and that could get you out of the sandbox really dang fast. But essentially, what that's doing is just sending a bunch of new backlinks to your website, right? At 301, you're just taking all the backlinks from your old website, you're pointing them over to the new website. So just a way to get links real quick. But yeah, I would say the best way to get out of the sandbox quickly is just start building quality links. Build your foundational links and then start building quality links. Just make sure that uh, you know I don't want to insult you or anything, but I know when people start asking me this kind of question, you're newer to SEO or whatever. I know exactly what you're gonna do. You're gonna go and you're gonna try to start getting links for cheap on Fiverr or something, and you're gonna end up doing something highly unnatural and creating even more trouble for yourself because you wanted to get out of the sandbox quickly instead of pursuing quality over time and building something that's built to last. But if you're doing just like an AI spam project or something, then be my guest. Go for this kind of trash backlinks or cheap stuff or whatever. But if you don't want to get penalized and you want your website to be around for a while, if you want to be able to sell it for a big amount of money rather than making like 2 cents per 1,000 people landing on your site with some crappy ads or whatever, then you're going to want it to stick around for a while. Yeah. Anyway, I think I covered like the main ways to get out there. Hopefully that helps, man. Where are we? All right, and we are running out of time. I'll try to answer the questions that are left here, guys, and then I'm gonna be taking off. I am getting tired of talking. Get a quick drink. And one more vape hit for the road. It's kind of making me laugh a little bit that there's 8 people sitting here watching me vape, waiting for me to answer something. What's going on, guys? Glad y'all are here though, keeping me company. All right. I've noticed a lot of backlinks from IP address URLs that have 3K backlinks on a page and a link that says pay $5 for insertion. Yeah, these are everywhere. Actually, I go back over here and we'll type in my personal website, chrisgegis.com. It's pretty much like the website's only got like 3 pages on it or something. It's like basically a business card. It's like, hi, I'm Chris, But anyway, so I went and I checked it the other day, and so it doesn't even have a single like blog post on it. It's like 6 referring domains. I'm like, hey, I'm getting some links. Let's go see what those are. So go over here to backlinks. Of course, I've got a link from Sir Links-a-Lot, but then you see here, Prime Boost SEO, increased domain rating 6286, increased domain rating, IX, whatever. It's all just these guys trying to yeah, I mean they found an innovative way to get your attention and to try to get you to buy backlinks from them, right? Without doing outreach. They just are automatically spamming like every site on the internet and putting it that they sell backlinks in the URL. So I'll definitely give them bonus points because I feel like it's highly creative. Would I buy links from them? No, I wouldn't, but it's still cool. And I guess it's useful for anyone out there noticing this, but I'm not gonna disavow these things or anything like that. I know some people like to disavow, but I'll take the 6 referring domains. I've got a DR of 8 over here now, so I'm climbing up in the world, right? Next step I'll be like DR 20, and I'll have built 0 backlinks. I'll take the free stuff for now. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about them. I wouldn't worry about a disavow or something, and um, yeah, just ignore them, man. But kind of funny, right? Yeah, 10% off PBN links this month, boys and girls. Code PBN13 over at sirlinksalot.co. We got PBN homepage links. We got PBN niche edits, PBN guest posts. Are there SERPs where link farms are effective? I've seen a lot of them in local service businesses. businesses, backlink profiles, and they seem to be doing well. So it depends what you qualify as a link farm. Some people's definition of everyone's going to have a different definition of link farm. But the thing is, even if we're all talking about the same thing, let's just say we agreed what a link farm was. Um, let's say they had a Write for Us page. Let's say they're spamming AI content. Let's say that they're ranking for some keywords that are just super low competition and kind of unrelated to what the website's even about anyway, or nothing of substance. Maybe they're just even gaming some kind of crappy keywords. The fact is, the site still operates kind of like a higher quality PBN, and PBNs work. I actually don't build many PBN links to the sites that I work on myself these days, and if I do, I use them in a pretty small number overall compared to my overall backlink profile. However, yeah, PBNs still are definitely alive and well, and link farms are also alive and well. The problem is if you start building a bunch of link farm backlinks, and then a lot of these link farms start getting hit with algorithmic penalties and stuff, then all of a sudden you've got this backlink profile that's looking pretty unhealthy, right? However, as much as I feel like I can say this because because I have a link building agency, I can actually tell you, because I don't provide link farm links, I can tell you that link farm links can help your rankings. Am I telling you to go buy link farm links? No. But we need to be realistic about SEO. We need to look at what's working, and we have to understand that things do not have to be perfect to work. PBN links work, link farms work, even automatic, auto-generated backlinks can work. All of this stuff can work. It's just a matter of how well is it working, and is a matter of, is it going to cause any kind of problems in the future, right? So just because you're seeing some link farms and on your competitors' pages, does that mean you should go out and build some link farms? I probably wouldn't. You might, go ahead and grab a few, just a couple, but I really wouldn't go overboard with it. You can just mix them in. So you've got this big backlink profile, and your backlink profile is all good and quality and nice. And then you can go ahead and mix in a little of the dirty stuff in there too, right? And that'll actually, in a lot of cases, help you rather than hurt you. Just don't go crazy with it. And yeah, hopefully that helps, man. Kind of an advanced tactic. It's kind of like a more black hat tactic here. What's the difference between a new guest post page and a Yelp or similar business listing? Both have no backlinks to the new pages, but the directories have way more DR. Yeah, so the thing about Yelp, and basically you're talking Yelp, any kind of citation, any kind of directory, whatever, Google knows what these websites are. They know that they're directories, and it does not count as an endorsement of your website or your services. So Google knows that these types of websites, anyone can go on them and create a listing. I can go on Yelp right now and I can just start creating hundreds of listings. I can go create 100 citations for my website. I can go, find some good plumbing directories or whatever and just create it at will. I can sign up, create an account. Maybe I have to pay money, but in most cases it's free. And I can just create the links automatically. And so, yes, they have a high authority, but these are considered foundational links because it's essentially UGC, it's user generated content, not an endorsement. But a guest post or a link insertion or digital PR, any kind of editorial link is what we call this other stuff. These editorial links are links that are coming from blog posts on websites, and they pass their editorial process. So it's seen as an endorsement of your website, your business, your content. You can't go on to that. You can't go on to Sir Links a Lot, sign up with a free account and post a link. Our writers or us ourselves have to say, hey, check these guys out over here. And then so Google weights these types of links that come from real websites like this much, much, much heavier than something like a citation or a directory. It's not to say that you shouldn't do citations and directories. You absolutely 100% should do them. But these are what we call foundational links. It's something you just go do all of them, and then you forget they exist, and you never look at them again, and you don't need to build more really, unless there's a good reason for you to maybe didn't do enough in the first place or something like that. So yeah, yes, they have the same authority levels, or maybe even the directory is much higher because Yelp has an insanely high authority, like probably gonna be like in the 90s or whatever. But a guest post from a DR, 30 plus site is gonna be more effective than that Yelp profile or whatever citation, even if they're DR 90 or whatever. So yeah, hopefully that helps, man. Costco. So where does the power come from the new guest post? If you're here for the other part of the stream, remember that the page doesn't need links. The overall authority of the domain, the overall domain authority matters as well. Those are two different things. And I focus a lot more on the domain authority rather than the page authority. The page authority is a thing as well. Black Hole says, just buy links, bro. Asking a link seller how to get out of the sandbox. Hey, that's the best way to get out. Even if I wasn't a link seller, it's still the best way to get out of the sandbox. And the vape flavor is called Nightcrawler, which I have no idea what that is. It's pink. It's horrible. I hate vapes. Like everything about this is horrible. I would actually, I much prefer just to smoke a cigarette. I think cigarettes taste good, but all this like getting a mouthful of cotton candy, strawberry, uh, like mint is pretty horrible. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and take off for now. Hopefully my answers helped you out. Like, comment, subscribe, helps us out a lot. Also 10% off PBN links this month with code PBN13. Black Hole saying WTF. What's WTF? You don't like cigarettes? You don't like my cotton candy vape? Anyway, guys, I'll see you next time. Adios. Happy rankings. Bye-bye.